call the organizational meeting of the Board of Trustees for the Village of Dansville to order. Would you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, the first order of business, appointments. I would entertain a motion to approve, well, I don't need one here for mayor or deputy mayor, trustee Richard Whitenack. I would like a motion, though, for the deputy clerk, and that should not say treasurer, not at this time. One-year term, Jessica Wissick.
Move to approve.
Motion by trustee Whitenack, second.
I'll second it.
Okay, second by trustee Labar. Roll call vote.
I have a question.
Yes.
Under deputy clerk one-year term, the number of hours yet to be specified, correct?
We can still specify that, however you'd like to. Right now, she's a 24-hour-a-week employee. Part-time would remain that way until such time as we change it.
Okay, do we need to specify that? I mean, I'm okay, I just wanted to understood that the one-year term is what she's currently serving.
That's correct.
Okay,
24 hours at this
Okay.
time. Anything can be changed throughout the year. It just requires board action, that's all.
okay.
So that'd be a 24-hour 24-hour work week for the next year. Okay, any other questions? Trustee Griffith?
Abstain.
Trustee Labar?
Aye.
Trustee Whitenack?
Aye.
Trustee Criley?
Abstain.
Mayor's an aye. Motion passes. Okay, village attorney, one-year term, John Vogel. Have a motion. That's also a one-year term.
Move to approve.
Trustee Whitenack, motion to accept John Vogel as a village attorney for the next year. Second.
Second.
Second by trustee Labar. Discussion? Okay, trustee Griffith,
Abstain.
trustee Labar,
Aye.
trustee Whitenack,
Aye.
trustee Criley,
Abstain.
mayor's an aye. Motion passes. Okay, village auditor, Bondale Group.
Move to approve.
Okay, trustee, motion by trustee Labar, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Whitenack. Discussion? Trustee Griffith,
Abstain.
trustee Labar,
Aye.
trustee Whitenack,
Aye.
trustee Criley.
Aye.
Mayor's also an aye. Motion passes 4-0, or 401. Engineer of record, one-year term, MRB. This is an addition this year, so we have it on record. Have a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion by trustee Labar, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Whitenack. Discussion?
Does that fall under the mayor's appointments that we have no say in?
You can have a say in it if you want.
Well, they're,
No, it's just putting it down here as an appointment.
well, are they solely at the mercy of the mayor's office, or are they appointed as a group by this group?
They're appointed by this group.
Well, which positions are and which aren't?
The only ones that aren't are the deputy mayor and the deputy clerk. Those are my appointments. The rest are board appointments.
Okay.
With the exception of the fire department, that's more just a matter of protocol. The fire department itself votes on those people. They submit them out to us for approval. The fire chief himself is a 2-year appointment. We approved that last year, and the assistant chiefs and the president are 1-year appointments.
And what does an engineer of record mean?
That simply means they're the people we can go to. We don't have to approve it or anything as far as, deciding who we want to have as our engineer. We've been doing that for, since the late 1990s, since they came on board as the, for the water project.
You just said this was new this year, though.
I added it in there so that there was a record of it. There hasn't really been a record of it over the last several years. This is to put it in the minutes.
I mean, there's nothing to preclude us, even though we recognize them as appointments, as engineer of record of looking at other
No, there's nothing.
potential people.
And we've done that.
Yeah, and we'll continue with that process, I would assume.
Then why would you go through this period?
Why? It's just a matter of record. That way, if you don't always have to go out to bid. And if you have it down in your records and somebody questions you, you can simply say it's there. Professional services, you don't have to bid out all the time. Lawyers, engineers, some consultants. We normally do, but don't have to. That would not necessarily apply to, say, doing a project. These are just the people, if we need an engineering advice, we can go to. Any other discussion? Okay. Trustee Griffith,
Nay.
Trustee Labar,
Aye.
Trustee Whitenack,
Aye.
Trustee Criley,
No.
Mayor is an aye. Motion passes 3-2. Okay, First Assistant Fire Chief Greg Hoare, 1-year appointment.
Move to approve.
Motion by Trustee Labar,
Second.
second by Trustee Griffith. Discussion? All right, Trustee Griffith,
Aye.
Trustee Labar,
Aye.
Trustee Whitenack,
Aye.
Trustee Criley.
Aye.
Mayor is also an aye. Second Assistant Fire Chief, 1-year term, Glenn Camuto.
So moved.
Motion by Trustee Criley. Second.
Second.
Second by Trustee Whitenack. Discussion? Okay, Trustee Griffith,
Aye.
Trustee Labar,
Aye.
Trustee Whitenack,
Aye.
Trustee Criley.
Aye.
And the mayor's an aye as well. And next one, Fire Department President, 1-year term, Tom Kessler.
So moved.
Motion by Trustee Griffith,
Second.
second by Trustee Whitenack. Discussion? Okay, Trustee Griffith,
Aye.
Trustee Labar,
Aye.
Trustee Whitenack,
Aye.
Trustee Criley.
Aye.
Mayor's also an aye. Motion passes. Okay, motion to accept the following village board liaison positions. Public Safety, Richard Labar. Public Works and Parks and Recreation, Richard Whitenack. Budget, Finance and Audit, Trustee Griffith. Legislative, Mayor Vogt. And Technology and Consolidation, Patricia Criley. Have a motion, please.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion by Trustee Labar, second.
Second.
Second by Trustee Griffith. Discussion? Okay, Trustee Griffith,
Aye.
Trustee Labar,
Aye.
Trustee Whitenack,
Aye.
Trustee Criley.
Abstain.
Mayor votes an aye. Motion passes 4-0 with one abstention. Okay, the following appointees for the specific boards as mentioned. Planning Board, Secretary, 1-year term, Sharon Harris. And alternate member, which hasn't been chosen yet. So we'll just go with Sharon Harris. I have a motion to accept her as the secretary.
So moved.
Motion by Trustee Labar, second.
Second.
Second by Trustee Whitenack. Discussion?
This isn't a paid position, correct?
This one is. Remember, we approved that earlier this year. or I should say last year.
But according to policy, the village clerk is the planning board and zoning board of appeals secretary, and we just had that while we were shorthanded. And now we're fully staffed, so it should go back to,
It doesn't have to be the village clerk, and we don't have a policy necessarily.
actually, it is written in
GML is in the village law.
No, I think it's in the NICOM manual.
it's someplace else too. We've referred to it many times before.
What's the board's pleasure on this?
What's the compensation?
Right now,
It's pretty low, I know.
I've forgotten. Do you remember?
$35
Something like that.
a month, right? 35?
They have a meeting.
And some months are no meetings. Still paid. And we don't really pay other boards. Civic duty, those types of things. And actually, it does say, it falls under the duties of the village clerk.
Doesn't have to be the village clerk, though.
It does say
By
that.
law.
It does not have to be. We can make it we can designate whomever we wish on that. But we can discuss it later then. Okay, move on and skip over that one, move to zoning board of appeals. Got the secretary, one-year term. Jessica Wissick was the deputy clerk.
Same question, paid position?
No, it is not,
Okay.
because she was doing it as one of the requirements of the job when we hired her.
So she'll work nights and then?
She works whatever she has to work for that particular board, then they'll come off for days.
Again, that doesn't follow.
You can only work her 24 hours, that's what we've designated, and so if she is not, she works 2 hours at night, that means she's only going to work 22 hours during the week,
So why are we doing that for the zoning board and not the planning board?
because we had already appointed Sharon Harris. It's up to the board, what the board wants to do.
It would still be a paid position then, rather than as part of.
Well, if you're going to have Sharon as the secretary, would be, yes.
But for the zoning board of appeals, it still becomes a paid position.
Well, if you're counting the time that she works, I suppose so. That's part of the job. And she is a wage hourly worker.
I'd like to come back to that further discussion.
Well, let's just have the discussion now and be done with it. Let's not worry about it. Let's do both of them.
Well, if it follows the law, it's part of the salary position of clerk, part of that job.
I would contend that we can designate
Right.
delegate it to another particular individual, which in this case could be the deputy.
Call the vote.
We'd like to amend the law then, you're saying?
Call the vote.
No, I'm not amending the law. I bet she has a deputy that can stand in for her, and that would be Jessica. Jessica has limited hours, so
Could we simply offer Jessica a stipend for when she does attend a ZBA meeting?
well, then we might as, well, you still have the same issue with the two of the board members.
Okay, so as I'm hearing the proposal for planning board secretary, one-year term is to follow the current law, the clerk does it. And for the ZBA, who would be the secretary of the ZBA?
It'd be
Village
Jessica.
clerk, both meetings.
Says all boards and committees.
That isn't gonna happen.
And where's that specified? I'm not questioning, I'm just
I
asking.
don't
You
have
can
it
probably
with me.
find it in village law, it's on the internet.
Village law,
Yep, New York State.
New York State village law, but not Dansville.
Well, village law.
Yeah, okay.
State village
We can
laws.
amend it, we can't.
You can designate somebody else. and-
We can designate somebody else.
I don't think there's a provision for that in there.
I don't think the law is that strict that it can only be the clerk.
Well, my comment then, let's get a clarification on the law, whether or not we can designate another person. Obviously, we've done it in the past, but let's find out if we can legally do that. And then move on, once we have that piece of information.
Having time for the regular board meeting on, how was it, the 15th? Yep.
Everybody agree with that?
Okay, name the official newspaper.
Recommendation.
Genesee Country Express is what I'm recommending. However, I'll entertain other choices if that's what any of the board members want to do. We have not had coverage by our local paper in quite some time. Of course, we haven't had coverage from any paper in quite some time. I have talked with the editor, of a regional editor, John Anderson out of Hornell. He's actually out of Wellsville. Right now, they are going through a transition with the reporter over here, and I think he was less than happy with that individual and as far as the coverage. So we can see what happens.
I think we gotta stay with them. I don't think we don't have a choice, at least there's no choice at this point.
Yeah.
I,
Move to approve.
Motion by trustee Whitenack to make the Genesee Country Express the official newspaper. Second.
second.
Second by trustee Labar. Discussion. And we'll start in the other direction for a little bit. Trustee Criley.
Aye.
Trustee Whitenack.
Aye.
Trustee Labar.
Aye.
Trustee Griffith.
Aye.
The mayor's also an aye. Passes unanimously. Need a motion to appoint the village clerk or her delegate to notify each member of the village board individually should a special meeting of said board be required.
So moved.
Right, motion by trustee Griffith, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Labar. Discussion? Okay, trustee Criley,
Aye.
trustee Whitenack,
Aye.
trustee Labar, trustee Griffith.
Aye.
The mayor's also an aye. Okay, motion to set the time and place of our regular village board meetings. Okay, we have resolved that the regular meetings of the village board of trustees shall be held in town hall at 14 Clara Barton Street, Dansville, New York, according to the below listed calendar. And be it further resolved that the public notice of the time and place of the regular meetings of the village board of trustees of the village of Dansville as established by this resolution be given to the news media as required by New York State, and that a copy of this resolution and such public notice shall be forthwith posted conspicuously on the Village of Dansville Bulletin Board / website in the town hall, and of course on the village website. So listed and remain conspicuously posted on said designated bulletin board and website during the village official year 2013, actually it should read 2014 to 2015. Okay, and then the dates I believe are correct. Below. Any discussion?
Motion to approve.
Okay, motion by trustee Labar to approve the time and date of regular board meetings. Second.
I'll second it.
Second by trustee Criley. Discussion? Okay, trustee Criley,
Aye.
trustee Whitenack,
Aye.
trustee Labar,
Aye.
Trustee Griffith.
Aye.
The mayor votes also an aye, passes unanimously, 5-0. Okay, motion to designate date for the 2015 organizational meeting. I've set up for Wednesday, April 8th, 2015. The actual first day of the next administration would be that Monday, so it doesn't give a lot of time, so we'll go ahead and designate, otherwise I'd let them do it. Have a motion, please?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Griffith, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Whitenack. Discussion? Trustee Criley?
Aye.
Trustee Whitenack?
Aye.
Trustee Labar?
Aye.
And trustee Griffith?
Aye.
The mayor votes also an aye. Okay, motion to allow attendance at schools and conferences. We have to train them according to General Municipal Law 77. We can designate or provide schooling for the clerk, deputy clerk to go to NICOM fall training school, the code enforcement officer to FLABOA, spring training and fall training. Police officers as required, planning and zoning members to trainings required by the state of New York, justice and court clerks as required, and water and sewer employees to required trainings. I have a motion to accept this motion, please.
Move to
For resolution. I have a motion by trustee Whitenack, second.
Second.
Pardon? All
Second.
right, second by trustee Labar. Discussion?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think we'd be better off doing these on an individual basis when they come due. You know, the code enforcement officer, spring and fall, that's 2 weeks. Their required training is 24 hours a year, 8 of which can be done online. That's 16 hours. We're talking 2 weeks worth there. And police officers add to required trainings, required by who, what, where, when, and why, I guess is my question. Same with, you know, the others. What's actually required and who's requiring it, I guess we should do on an individual basis. It's kind of open-ended.
Well, I would think if
None of them
the,
are on a timely manner where they don't know in advance when the training is, that they can be put in front of this board.
but if we allocate training money to that effect and the department heads have done that, then why should we get involved in micromanaging who they send to school? And for what school? They can only send them until they're out of money. They run out of money, they're out of schooling.
But do we know if we're putting the right amount of money in a fund for training?
Well, I would leave that up to the department heads. That's their business to know that, and if they don't do it right, then that's their problem.
So if they submit to us what type of training they'd like, it'd be nice for us to know as well.
Well, we can certainly do that. I don't know. At this point, I don't know why we need to start micromanaging schools.
It's not managing, it's just actually being informed.
Well, they can tell us. In fact, I know Charlie has been telling us for long, and I know Scott has done it when he sent people to trainings. I don't think we've sent the clerk or deputy clerk to school in ages. I know Megan hasn't gone, other than to a couple minor schools. Well, we've got a motion. Do we have some?
The question I had was, talks here about the clerk and the deputy clerk to NICOM.
Mhm.
Would both of them attend at the same time then?
No.
Okay.
Guess I'm wondering why this is actually even in there. Why isn't it just part of the budget? And why is it authorized training? Why isn't it something that is brought to the board in a timely manner when it's gonna occur? I mean, I don't know if any training happens until I pay a bill, or review a bill, I should say.
I think we've done it previous years.
Well, we've always done it, but
If
that
this is
doesn't.
anything new.
It's like prepays, it just, takes one more thing that we don't have to keep looking at all the time.
Right.
There's enough to do. We hire department heads to make these decisions. I think we need to put some trust in them if they abuse it or in any way, which I don't think has been done.
No one's saying they're abusing it. We're just saying we'd like to be informed.
Well, I don't disagree with that. But I think they can inform us without having to get approval every time they want to send somebody.
I think as the point was made, within whatever money is budgeted, and as long as you stay within that, we can follow this, but once you go outside of that, obviously it has come to the board. And we should be kept informed as part of the department head's responsibility. If they know that a school is coming up and they have people under their direction attending it, then we ought to be aware of it.
So my point is, what is the point of this?
Well, I think it gives pre-approval. It recognizes the fact that there are schools that typically employees do attend within different departments. My question is, how many years has this been part of the, organizational?
As long as I can recall.
Yeah, right. It's probably verbatim, even though I don't know. It's been there for several years, so they're not, adding or subtracting or deviating from what's been done previously.
I don't think there were two FLBOA spring training and fall trainings of new regulations ever, and
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
there's a requirement that
I don't know.
they're.
24 hours, 8 of it can be done online. That's required training.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was online with their site yesterday and checked it.
good. Did you print it out, or did you just,
No, you can go online, give you the site, you can go online and look at it, though.
okay.
Any other discussion? We do have a motion and a second on the table. We'll go ahead and vote on that. Trustee Griffith,
Nay.
Trustee Labar,
Aye.
Trustee Whitenack,
Aye.
Trustee Criley,
Aye.
the mayor's also an aye. Passes 4-1. Okay, motion to pay mileage allowance. Actually, that should be the 2014 standard. 56 cents per mile. Have a motion to accept that rate. That's the,
So moved.
all right, motion by trustee Labar, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Whitenack. Discussion?
Is this the state rate? 56 cents?
It's the IRS rate. I don't know what the state uses. You know, Megan?
I would have to double check this. I think when I sent you everything, then everything, what was printed out, that's what it was. It changed in January, so it might have changed to the 56, but there's some stuff missing in here, so I don't know. But I could double check it on my copy of this that I have downstairs.
Okay.
Double check.
Okay, we'll table that for the moment. We can readdress that one at the April 15th meeting. Okay, motion to designate depositories at Community Bank. Again, that number is off. Should be 1415. Five Star Bank and Bank of Castile. Have a motion to accept them, please.
So moved.
Okay, motion by trustee Labar, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Whitenack. Discussion?
Didn't Bonadeo suggest that we move the Bank of Castile account to something local?
Not yet. We haven't gotten the final report yet. As it stands right now, they are a bank we are using.
We're not required to use them just because they're designated.
No.
When
No.
we get ready to change
No,
them.
actually, we had Genesee Valley Credit Union and Key Bank on there, and I removed them since we're not using them at all.
Right.
And again, this can be changed at any time with the board's approval. This is just how we're starting the year off. The reason the Bank of Castile was used is because, as I recall, Medix required us to designate a bank, local bank up there.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
So moved.
Okay, I have a motion by trustee Griffith, second.
Second.
By trustee Whitenack. Okay, trustee Criley,
Aye.
trustee Whitenack,
Aye.
trustee Labar,
Aye.
trustee Griffith,
Aye.
mayor's an aye. Motion for advance approval on claims, resolution 6414. This allows the clerk to make payments in advance of regularly scheduled meetings for utility bills, insurance premiums, postage, bond debt, contractual payments, fees for registration, attendance at pre-approved meetings, seminars, and conferences.
Move to approve.
A motion by trustee Whitenack to approve it. Second?
Second.
Second by trustee Labar. Discussion.
Resolved is spelled incorrectly.
Okey-doke. Okay, trustee Criley,
Aye.
trustee Whitenack,
Aye.
trustee Labar,
Aye.
trustee Griffith.
Aye.
Mayor's also an aye. Okay, we have our standard procurement policy. Accept the motion to approve. No changes to it.
So move.
Have a motion by trustee Whitenack, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Griffith. Discussion?
The word policy is spelled as police in the second line.
Okay. Yep, thank you. Any other discussion? Okay. Trustee Griffith,
Aye.
trustee Labar,
Aye.
trustee Whitenack,
Aye.
trustee Criley,
Aye.
mayor votes an aye. Okay.
Question regarding that policy,
Mhm.
before we leave it. Item number 4, documentation. I just want to focus on that, or at least draw attention to, at least as I was going through here, to ensure that we are doing that part of the process to document each action taken with each procurement. I'm not saying we haven't done it in the past, but I just want to make sure that we're following that.
Megan, would you like to answer that? You're the one that handles it.
Yeah. And again, I'm not saying we're not doing it.
Yeah, I feel that I am, but we'll pay attention.
Yeah.
And I, we'll,
This wasn't a reflection of not doing it, it was
Right.
just saying that
yeah.
it's a very important part of it. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, rules of procedure for meetings of the Village Board of Trustees. I have a motion, please.
Should you outline the changes first?
Well, the first one is I changed the name of the committee meeting to department head meeting, because that's really what it is. We don't have committees anymore. So there's some instructions for that, which pretty much explain how we've been conducting business. Tells when and where. And let's see. Mine's not in color, so I don't have all of them going on the internet or on the computer. But you know, on the electronic devices, that those, number one, need to be silenced during our meetings unless you're emergency personnel and you have no way of silencing yours. Also, number 6 notes that, well, the use of audio and video recording devices are permitted during all board meetings except executive sessions. Such devices should not intrude on the conduct of the meeting. Cell phones, and that's just a reiteration of what I just said. Cell phones should be turned off or put on vibration. Texting by all personnel, including board members, is prohibited. Emergency personnel, police, ambulance, and fire exempted with regard to emergency notification devices if such devices cannot be placed in the vibrating mode. And there was another major change here. Trying to remember exactly where.
There's a change in number 3, order of business. I like this part where it says the such additions unless of an emergency or time sensitive nature must first be brought to the board's attention during the department heads meeting.
Yeah, we set up the department head meetings for a purpose. And that was for everybody to have an open and frank discussion of the topics that we were going to place on the agenda for the coming week. And what we're finding is we're getting stuff thrown out at the last minute, sort of surprise to people, without that being discussed with the full board the week before, or at least with the liaison representative on the board prior to that meeting. So it becomes all new to everybody. Applies to everybody, myself included. So unless it's an emergency, time-sensitive nature, if we don't get it in a timely manner at a board meeting or sometime between that and the regular board meeting, I should say the department head meeting and the board meeting, and discussed with the appropriate liaison, then it can wait till the following month.
I'd still like to have that deleted. I think it doesn't necessarily become an emergency or a time-sensitive nature, but a trustee should be able to bring something up if it comes up after, between the board meeting or the department head meeting.
Yeah,
and-
that'd be fine, Pat, as long as it's,
But then it becomes someone's decision whether they determine it's an emergency or not. And I think if we just leave it off and everybody, if someone brings something up and they speak to the liaison for that department, both agree that it goes on the agenda, I don't see that there's a problem.
yeah, if it gets on
I think
the,
it becomes too narrow when you're tightly controlling how an agenda is set up.
any other board members want to discuss it?
I agree with that. I think if a citizen stops me in the hallway coming into the meeting, something I feel is important that we should discuss at that time rather than make that person wait 30 days. That's what gives you a reputation of being unreactive to your citizens and your voters.
I would agree with what Jay just said. I mean, that's a prime example. I had not given that thought, but we've got to be available and receptive to the people we represent at any time. And if it's, as we're going into a board meeting and something important enough to bring up, then we ought to have the openness to bring it up. So, that was it.
And not have others determine whether it's an emergency nature or not.
Yeah. On the other side of the coin, we shouldn't be blindsided by something if somebody's been holding close to them for 3 or 4 days, waiting till that opportunity occurs to bring it up unannounced or with no prior knowledge of the board, when in fact you've been had the ability to share it with the board prior to then. And I think the intent is not to venture into situations like that. And again, I'm in agreement with that, so.
Dick, you got any comment?
Just the fact that to snowball something, like say, to know of it prior to and then wait till the last minute to bring it up, I think is not doing justice to the board
But I'm in agreement, again, I'll say that I'm in agreement with what Jay said, and for that reason, that I don't think we can limit ourselves, and we shouldn't go on record limiting ourselves. So I would vote to delete the portion that holds us to that.
Under order of business A, agenda, it would read, the agenda shall be prepared by the clerk at the direction of the mayor, and the mayor or any trustee may have an item placed on the agenda. Delete the next part, however, such additions, unless of an emergency or time-sensitive nature, must first have been brought to the board's attention during the department heads meeting, and the agenda for each of the village board of trustees, except as may be set apart for special meeting shall be established. And just take out the section about the however.
Have you had a motion yet on this?
Mhm.
Lost track, okay.
I think if we were to said something to the effect that every attempt should be made to bring to the board's attention information discussed. Okay, over such additions, less than, yeah.
Should be made.
I would delete, however.
Yeah, sentence.
Sounds,
Okay.
maybe some sense to the, something to the effect that,
Can we just leave it as is?
I just,
I think we're
leave it,
all
just
over it. I think
delete it.
Okay. That
I'll,
change?
I'm sure there's probably more to, is there more to discuss on this?
Is there a place in here, or was it someplace else that if somebody wants to speak, they can only speak regarding something on the agenda that night?
Yes, that's under citizen participation C. If I'm not mistaken. In addition to visitor recognition, that's C3. Will be given 1 to 2 minutes each at the end of the meeting to speak on any topic which was specifically raised during the evening's meeting.
I'd like to delete that.
Why?
Because I think if they have a comment to say, it shouldn't have to be, they might reference something else, and it might not be specifically about that, but they only have a minute. Why can't you listen to what they have to say?
I don't think we've rigidly enforced it anyway, so we could knock out.
Yeah, I think if it's that important, they'll get on the agenda. It can turn, it's that thing that can turn into a soapbox for something that we weren't even talking about.
Yeah.
And like I said, like you said, we've been pretty lenient as far as.
If you want to knock off the 2 minutes, 1 to 2 minutes, we can do that. That's not a big change.
I like 1 to 2
1
minutes.
minute's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've been lenient on
Yeah,
that too.
that can go on and on.
Gives you the opportunity.
Most people have been pretty good
To
about it.
some degree, this is a guide anyway.
Yeah.
Move to approve?
You have a motion then to approve. Any further discussion? Noting the changes, which major change anyway. Okay, you have a motion by trustee Whiteneck to approve the meeting procedures. Second.
Second.
Second by trustee Labar. No further discussion. Trustee Griffith.
Aye.
Trustee Labar.
Aye.
Trustee Whiteneck.
Aye.
Trustee Criley.
Aye.
Mayor's also an aye. And standard work week and reporting resolution. I have a motion to accept that, please.
Move to approve.
Motion by trustee Whitenack, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Labar. Discussion. Okay. Trustee Griffith,
Aye.
trustee Labar,
Aye.
trustee Whitenack,
Aye.
trustee Criley,
Aye.
mayor's an aye. Motion passes. And the last but not least are the meeting dates for the department head meetings.
Move to approve.
I have a motion by trustee Labar, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Griffith. Discussion. Okay, trustee Griffith,
Aye.
trustee Labar,
Aye.
trustee Whitenack,
Aye.
trustee Criley,
Aye.
and mayor's an aye. And that brings to a close, other than the discussion of the planning board and ZBA. And we also tabled the mileage, which we're going to look into. And I will get some further clarification as well on the ZBA and the planning board.
Can we change the wording of the mileage to the current IRS reimbursement rate?
Yeah, we can do that.
Makes it
Makes it
year
easier.
year after year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Want to go back to it?
Okay.
Dick, Pat, you okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
At the currently approved IRS business mileage rate. Okay.
Mileage reimbursement rate.
So move.
Okay, a motion by trustee Griffith, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Whitenack. Discussion. Trustee Griffith,
Aye.
trustee Labar,
Aye.
trustee Whitenack,
Aye.
trustee Criley,
Aye.
and the mayor's an aye. Passes 5-0. So we'll just get some further clarification on the business with the secretary for the ZBA and the planning board. Okay. And with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn the organizational meeting for this year.
So move.
A motion by trustee Labar, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Griffith. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Why don't we take about a 10-minute recess, and then we'll meet again to conduct our workshop on the budget.